I'm showing you the map again so you can see where I'm at. So I just completed the Americas and all these animals over here. So now I'm gonna head on the trail towards Asia. I'm gonna head on this trail here past the Przewalski's horse and tigers, and head on this trail past the rhino and towards all this stuff here. I like this, saving species here and around the world. Alright, we got Asia. I like these here. So I'm heading into the Asia section now. Cats encounter. I'm gonna head into the Asia section here. Animal Services Cat Adoption Center. I'm gonna head inside here. Yes, this is an open encounter, so the cats are free roaming. I'm probably not gonna pet any of the cats. Yes, the cats here are free roaming, and you are allowed to pet them. It did say you actually are free to adopt. Oh, okay. So you are required to wash your hands whenever you pet the cats, but even though I did wash my hands, I'm probably just not going to pet them, but I am going to show them. They're super cute. They're so cute. I think there's also one inside this little tube here. So just try to get out or something. Yeah, the cats do have all these little toys to play with. And the cats do also have these little stairs to go up on, and the worker did mention to me that the cats that have green collars are adopted. So I'm guessing some of the cats here are adopted, and you can adopt the cats from here, but I'm probably not going to adopt any cats because since I do already have dogs of my own back at my home. But I also do like cats and dogs because these cats are just super adorable. It's got an outdoor patio area. Let's see if there's any cats in this area. So over here is actually another little kitty cat here. Adorable kitten, actually right behind this. Oh, there he comes. Yeah, so it does have a green collar on him, so means this cat is adopted. And he is super, oh, there's another one. They're super cute. Absolutely adorable. This is a very important information. Always keep your cat indoors. So keep in mind, if you ever do adopt a cat or a dog or any type of animal that you get as a pet, I always recommend you adopt them from a shelter, because that way if you get an animal from a shelter, they are already spayed and neutered, so that way once they're spayed and neutered, they can't have any babies. But I recommend getting a cat or a dog from a shelter, not a pet store or a store that sells breeded animals. So that's why I recommend you, if you ever adopt an animal as a pet, be sure to get them from a shelter and not a breeding area or a store that sells animals for pets. I've been to wrong. Alright, this habitat looks nice. It's a very good sized habitat, so it's going to be hard to find him. But I don't see him anywhere, so I'll definitely check back here later during the rewalk. Here we got Przewalski's horse, or Asian wild horse. Some nice info here. And you see a horse right there, eating some hay. Some more information over here. And then we got another horse. It's also eating some hay, looks like. I do enjoy these types of horses a lot. And also in the habitat with the Przewalski's horses, you also got white-winged wood duck. It also gives another side viewing of the second horse. It's a really nice looking horse. Also, do you see some wild pigeons in there? Obviously, the pigeons are not part of the habitat. Those are just wild birds. It seems like they are taking advantage of the habitat, or parts of the habitat the horses are not using. And I'm trying to find the wood duck, but I don't see it anywhere, so I'm still looking for it. And over here gives a side window viewing for the binturong, and the binturong is actually in this little log here, but it's hard to see it because of all the reflection, all the little markings on the glass. So I'll check back here later, and hopefully the binturong will be out. Next up, we got Malayan tiger. This is like a gorgeous habitat. Super nice. Now I'm gonna see if I can find the tiger. So over here is another side viewing window. You can see there's the tigers right there. It's a nice looking cat. Yes, that side window over there is where I just was, and it gave me a good view of the tiger. Yeah, nice little waterfall in its habitat. That's nice. It's some impressive habitat. We got a hooded crane. Yeah, I do see the crane. It's like a gorgeous bird. It looks like the crane has tons of space for him. Nice. So we got this nice crane statue. Over here's another side window for the Malayan tiger. Also has some water to be in. We got the Asian forest atrium. Oh, that's nice. A nice little three-flight aviary. We got a rhinoceros hornbill. It's a cool looking bird. Got birds of the Asia forest. And here we got Nicobar pigeon, Bali minnow, marbled teal, green-winged dove, Palawan peacock pheasant, white-breasted kingfisher, Luzon bleeding heart dove, masked lapwing, Indian pygmy goose, greater Malayan chevrotain, azure-winged magpie, and metallic starling. There's no guarantee I'm going to be able to see all the birds in here, but I do see the masked lapwing down there. I also do see one of the other birds. Yeah, this is all very, very beautiful. Also got a recreation of a snake there. Over here gives you another side viewing for the Malayan tiger. Yeah, as you can see the tiger right there. Yeah, a Burmese rock python. It's a nice looking habitat. Got some water. And there's the snake. And you see there's his tail. Looks like most of it's back there. Yes, the snake is right back there, looks like. A Bali minnow roundup. Yeah, so Bali minnows are critically endangered. Yeah, do you see it? It's right there. Yeah, this is all super beautiful, and there's also a little pond there because it looks like there's some koi. Sorry about the reflection, but you can still see the koi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are koi. See a couple of the rest of the birds up in the trees. Oh, just flew around. And there's the Nicobar pigeon. Yeah, one of the birds is making some noises.
Oh, and that's the
Got a Prevost squirrel. Oh, I almost didn't see it, but the squirrel is right there. It's a cool looking squirrel. So So I'm guessing the spotting guides for these animals are on a screen, but looks like they are off. But even though the sign's not working, I do know that this is a tawny frogmouth. So I'm guessing there are some animals in here, but I just don't see them. I just don't know what's in here since the spotting guides aren't working. And this habitat looks like this is a northern tree shrew. Even though the sign's not working, I do remember the last time I was here, there were some animals in these habitats. So I think that's a northern tree shrew, if I'm not mistaken. Also, another animal in here. Can't really tell what it is. I can only see its backside. Looks like it's climbing up the branch. Yeah, I think that might be some kind of loris. Yeah, I can still see it right there, even though it's dark in the habitat. Luckily, I have my larger camera, which does really well in low light habitats. It's climbing down. In this other habitat, there's a second tree shrew. So I'm not sure what's in here, but there's a sign saying that whatever is in this habitat, it is off habitat. Because it says they're going to be doing some maintenance on this habitat. So apparently the doors here is actually closed, so I'm actually going to have to backtrack. Because it says they're doing some construction on their new Komodo dragon exhibit. So I was backtracking to the aviary, the hornbill started making some noises. Very, very loud, especially how it's inside. Just jumped up onto the other branch. Alright, so now that I've completed all these animals here, I'm now going to backtrack and head in this direction to all the other animals on the other trail of Asia that I didn't get to yet. So as I'm backtracking past the Przewalski's horses and the white-winged wood duck, I still don't see the ducky anywhere. So I'll definitely check back here later during my rewalk. Hopefully the duck will be out by then. We're here and got a fantastic view of both of the Przewalski's horses. We got a really nice view of both of the Przewalski's horses. Very cool animals. We got koi. Alright, do you see the koi? Like they're in the water, looks like. Do enjoy the koi. And I do like the little waterfall that goes into the koi pond here. It's really nice. Alright, so I completed all the animals on that side of Asia. Now I'm going to head this way towards all the animals on this side of Asia. We've got rhinos of the world. So all these rhinos are critically endangered. Alright, so this is the habitat for the rhino. Now I'm going to have to see if I can find the rhino. Welcome Taj. It says Taj is a greater one-horned rhino. About to go over this bridge here, looks like. There's another view of the rhino habitat. We've got some water to be in. You're looking for the greater one-horned rhino. Alright. I found Taj. Wow, that is a wonderful animal. Right up close. These are my second favorite zoo animals, right behind the elephants. Meet Taj. Get another nice view of Taj. The greater one-horned rhino has plenty of water for him to be in. Some nice info here. How do you measure up? Over there I do see some orangutans in here. Looks like they're underneath the little shells. Another look at the greater one-horned rhino. That's a gorgeous animal. So he's playing with that little wheel there with his lips. It's really cute how he's using his lip to play with that little toy there he's got. We've got Malayan tapir. This is the habitat. There's a gate there, so it's probably in its secondary habitat. We got Sumatran orangutan. I am impressed with the orangutan's habitat. Super nice. Yeah, so over here gives you another closer look at the orangutans. Both of them are under those little shells there. Yeah, so over here is all a secondary habitat for the Malayan tapir. It looks like there's two of them in the back together, looks like. We got a lar gibbon. Oh, I do see the gibbon. I completely missed it, but the gibbon is right there. Looks like he's coming over to say hi. And again, the gibbons do have a really nice, wonderful habitat. Got lots of places for them to climb on. It's wonderful. Alright, you see a second gibbon in the back. It was back there, but behind all the trees, but you can still see the male. I believe that's the male because it has black fur. Yeah, so apparently this whole area is closed off because this is where they're building the new Komodo dragon habitat, so I'm going to have to backtrack the way I came from. Yeah, so over here I can see the female lar gibbon. Yeah, so she is right back there. And swinging around. Yeah, so I'm up on the bridge here. It actually gives you another view of the koi pond. Super nice. And you see there's a koi swimming. And this here gives you another side view of the greater one-horned rhino. Now remember on my last visit, this whole habitat here had elephants, but apparently the elephants at the zoo actually had to be removed because usually there has been a couple zoos I've heard of in the US that had to give up their elephants because they didn't have enough space for them, because usually, depending on what species of elephants, like if it's an Asian elephant or African elephant, they would have to have a good amount of space for them. So apparently the elephants at the zoo are no longer here, but luckily they have a greater one-horned rhino in its place now. But that's okay, because I do understand it's best for the animals, because honestly, this habitat does not seem suitable for elephants, but luckily it's very suitable for rhinos. Alright, so now that I finished my walkthrough through the zoo, I'm now going to head back over the bridge here that takes me right from Africa into the Americas. Also do have misters here to keep you nice and cool during the hot summer months. Luckily it's not too hot today since I'm here during spring. Alright, so I have completed my initial walkthrough of the whole El Paso Zoo, so now I'm heading back towards the front of the exit, or the entrance rather, sorry. So I'm now heading back to the front of the zoo, so I'm going to try and do a rewalk and hopefully see the animals that were not out the first time, because I believe there was a couple animals I didn't see in the Americas, so I don't really remember which ones were out, but luckily I do have a list of them, of which animals that were not out this morning. So I'm going to do the rewalk real quick and hopefully see everything that wasn't out. I came back to the lion. Looks like it's in the same spot it was in earlier. Just looks like it's still in the shade. Back at the African painted dogs. Looks like they're all pretty much in the same spot they were in this morning. Back at the giraffes, and looks like the giraffe is getting some food from the worker over there. And back at the zebras, looks like they've been moving around a bit. Looks like they're eating out of the box there. Can't really tell what the box is that they are eating from, but it does look like they are eating hay. I'm guessing that there is some hay inside that box they are eating from. And you see all the other zebras, so from here. Here comes one of the other ones. Now he's getting some hay, looks like.
You mean Morty?
You can see there's the other zebras from here, looks like. Yeah, this is all where they usually have the train bridge, but it does not seem like the train is running. And the train was not running during my last visit, so I don't know if the train is even running anymore or if it's permanently closed forever, but I'm not sure exactly. Heading back into the Chihuahuan Desert section. Yeah, I'm absolutely impressed with this part of the zoo. It looks very naturalistic. I can tell it definitely mimics the desert, especially like the wolf statue. So I'm back at this habitat. It's a habitat where the jaguar and mountain lion share the habitat. And I did see the jaguar walking around back in the fenced area back where you can see the pronghorn. So it looks like the jaguar is still not in the actual habitat. Came back to the Mexican wolves, and looks like they're still in the back. I was hoping to see if they were going to be up and moving, but they're... Oh, looks like one of them got up. Yeah, one of them's now standing up. He's coming on over. Nope, laying back down. Guessing he was moving to a different spot. That's nice information. Why do wolves howl? Back at this habitat. So there's the burrowing owl up on the tree. There's a roadrunner right there. Cool bird. There's supposed to be a screech owl in here, but I actually did see it in the other habitat. Because it was actually in the other habitat we saw by the coati. So I'm back at the mountain lion habitat. Looks like the mountain lion's in the same spot he was in before. Looks like he has changed positions. Yes, the mountain lion looks like it's in the same spot it was earlier. Here's another side view of the collared peccary. Looks like both of them are now laying down. Yeah, so at first it looks like the pronghorn and peccaries both share the same habitat, but there is a fence over here that separates the pronghorn from the peccary, so they actually are in their own separate habitats. Back at the pronghorn, looks like there's some laying down all together in that little rocky area there. Guessing that's for the area of their habitat that's mostly shaded. So got a couple more of them in the back and one laying down right here. So apparently the reason why I didn't go inside this building is because it's closed, and also I think it's for employees only. But this was open on my last visit, but for some reason this time it looks like it is closed off now. Another look at the adorable pronghorn. These animals are absolutely adorable. So pronghorn are actually the fastest animal in the Americas. It's right up here. Another pronghorn's laying up right here. We got one of them standing up, laying back down. Yeah, pronghorn are absolutely adorable animals. Super cute. Yes, the jaguar apparently is still in this little backside here. Before he was pacing back and forth, but now he's laying down. Since earlier the pronghorn were in this area, but now I guess since the pronghorn have moved over there, so I'm not sure the jaguar can see them from over there, but I'm guessing he can, but I'm guessing the pronghorn must have moved over there because they were getting annoyed when the jaguar was staring at them. So I'm guessing they moved over there because they got annoyed when the jaguar kept staring at them. So it looks like the alligator's in the exact same spot it was in earlier. Back at the Magellanic penguins. one swimming in the water. We got two of them. Before only one was in the water. Now there's two of them swimming in the water. I came back to the Jeffrey spider monkey before I saw the babies, and it looks like the adults are out. The one up on the little... Oh, I just see the younger one. It's the mom and baby. I see another one in the back, looks like. Oh, two more actually. I see two more in the back, looks like. There's two more of them back there. I'm back at the South American Pavilion. It looks like two of the porcupines have moved a little. It's not hard to see because of the glass is a bit dirty. There you go. Now you can see it. Now you can see the porcupines and the two birds that were not listed. The rhinoceros iguana has moved. Before he was right here at the glass. It looks like he moved to a different spot now. Back inside the America aviary here. There's an Inca tern there. This looks like the worker in here is getting some food for these birds. The black-throated magpie jay. There's also supposed to be a West Indian whistling duck, but apparently I still don't see the duck anywhere. This is what it looks like right here, so I'm gonna say it's a no-go because I don't really see it anywhere. You can see the two magpies there. They're really nice long tails. Really gorgeous birds. So over here is actually a toad here walking, or sitting here. I almost missed it, but it was right there. There was a sign to say to watch your step for turtles, but it didn't say anything about toads. Yeah, but it's there. Don't know if it's a wild toad or if it's part of the aviary, but it's there. Some more of the birds here. Back at this habitat. Apparently it's supposed to be a bobwhite quail. Oh, I do see a red-crested cardinal. Apparently I don't see the masked bobwhite quail anywhere, so that's what they look like, and I don't really remember if I saw the Sora. So just in case I didn't see the Sora, that's what they look like, but I can see one of the other smaller birds there. But I do not see the masked bobwhite quail anywhere, so that's what they look like, so I'm going to say it's a no-go for today. Okay. Yeah, so the scarlet ibis looks like they're all in the same spot they were earlier. They're all still up in the tree. Got two more of them over here. I came back to the greater one-horned rhino. He's now in this habitat here. Yeah, so he does have access to both of his habitats. Looks like he's in a secondary habitat now. As a magnificent animal. Oops, just turned around. Yeah, so apparently the rhino turned around, and then there was a backside view of them, but luckily over here I got a side view of the rhino. That's a gorgeous animal. So it says that the greater one-horned rhino here came from the Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle, Washington. Who's laying down a little hay there. I guess it's like its little bed, a little hay bed. Laying down now. Back at the gibbons, looks like they're up in their little bamboo tower, looks like. See the male and female. Yeah, looks like the Malayan tapirs are in the exact same spot they were before. Yeah, so I was hoping to see if I could get a nicer view of the orangutans, but there's some workers in the habitat getting it cleaned up, so now I do not see the orangutans anymore, but at least I still got a clear view of them, or I still got to see them earlier. Yeah, so I'm back at the habitat that has the Przewalski's horse and the white-winged wood duck, and I still don't see the duck anywhere. Well, I still see the horses. So luckily I got to see the horses. So this is what the duck looks like. I'm sure most of you might have seen a duck before, but just in case you haven't seen this particular species of duck, that is what they look like right there. So I came back to see the tiger one more time, but now I don't see it anymore. Possible I might be able to see it again from that viewing window, but I'm not exactly sure. But luckily I did get to see it earlier. Yeah, so it looks like over here they're doing some construction work. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to add here, but looks like that they're going to be doing some renovation work or adding new stuff to the zoo soon. Back inside the little aviary, you can see there's the hornbill again. Before he's making lots of noises, looks like he stopped. Looks like he's back in the same spot he was the first time I came through. So apparently as I was going through here, there's actually one animal that was not out the first time. That was the Malayan shepherd cane, and I'm still trying to find it. But I still do not see the Malayan shepherd cane anywhere. So I'm guessing it's a smaller animal and it's probably hiding really, really well. So that's what it looks like right there, just in case you've never seen one before. So I don't usually see this type of animal at a lot of zoos, so that's what they look like, just in case you've never seen one before. So I'm going to call this a no-go for today. I do see the other birds in the tree. Looks like there's a Nicobar pigeon. So luckily the sun has changed position, so you can see the koi a little bit better now. Came back to this habitat here. It looks like that animal that has no name is still moving around. So in case you know what kind of animal this is, I do recommend you leave a timestamp comment down below, where you're basically just writing the time of the video and just in case you know what kind of animal this is. That way I'll learn about a new animal, because I think this may be an animal I've never seen before, though it's possible it is. I just don't remember which other zoo I saw this animal at. I'm guessing it might be a loris of some kind. Looks like the northern tree shrew still moving around. Just when it's these little leaves. So as I was coming out of the aviary, I just realized this is actually not some construction. This is actually a nighttime pen. I believe it's for the Przewalski's horses. As you can tell by the way it looks, this might be the area the horses spend the night at, because I'm guessing that's the nighttime enclosure for the Przewalski's horses. Yeah, as you can see, there's one of the other horses there. Don't know if that's the one we saw earlier or if it's the second one, because I do remember there are two horses in here. Yeah, so you can see the horse habitat goes through those areas, that leads right over here. So I'm guessing, yeah, this might be the indoor enclosure for the Przewalski's horses. I'm guessing this might be where the hooded cranes spend the night. Yeah, so the side window here, you can still see the tiger is still out. It looks like it moved. Can't tell if it's in the same spot it was in earlier. But yeah, it's still laying down right there. So another animal that was not out was the binturong. So I know it was actually in this little log here, but because of all the little markings on the glass, it's kind of hard to see. But the binturong is actually in here, but it's kind of hard to see it. So since it's hard to see on the glass, just in case you couldn't see it very well, that's what they look like right there. So I'm going to say this is a no-go for today. Yeah, so in the habitat for the horses and the duck, see the pigeons by the water. Oops, flew away. It's actually just getting a drink of water. Yes, the pigeons are not part of the zoo. Those are just wild birds. I'm back at the sea lion habitat. Hopefully get one more video of them. It looks like they were swimming underwater. Yeah, the sea lion just came up out of the water but went back inside. But luckily we could see that one there in the water. That looks like he's floating around, looks like. Looks like he's getting a breath of air. Yes, even though sea lions do spend most of their time in the water, they still have to breathe air, and they do sometimes come up on land. I'm back at the underwater view for the sea lions. I can see there's one at the bottom there, looks like. I guess he must have been taking a nap underwater. Back at the macaws, looks like one of them's in the same spot as it was this morning. It looks like the other blue and yellow macaw moved to a different spot. I think the military macaw moved. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm guessing it was on that little branch there, but it moved. So I think it's in the same spot it was earlier. And just as a reminder, the train ride is not running at the moment, because I don't think it is running anymore. I'm not sure if it's permanently closed or if it's just not running for the day. Alright everybody, that is going to complete my visit to the El Paso Zoo and Botanical Gardens. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was a really wonderful zoo. I enjoyed coming back here again, because luckily since the last time I was here, it was during the winter time, but luckily I came back here at a much more warmer time of year, because I'm here during spring when it's much warmer. So I pretty much saw everything that was on exhibit. Only animal I don't think I got to see was the binarong. Also don't think there is the Malayan chevrotan that was in the Asian forest atrium or aviary. I also enjoyed everything else that was on exhibit. This was a very fun zoo. I loved it so much. Leave some comments down below for what's your favorite animal that I saw here today. And if you did like this video, be sure to give it a good thumbs up if you liked what you saw. If I'm not already subscribed, please do so. I go to zoos and aquariums, and in case you're not subscribed, I do recommend you click the little icon that will take you right to my channel. If this is the kind of stuff that you enjoy, in case you like zoos and aquariums, I do recommend you check out my channel. I upload new videos every Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I thank everyone for watching this video, and I will see you again next time. Bye!